There are limps of many kinds. Most of us can spot the tangible ones. But what about those handicaps that aren't so physical? I'm Lex, and I want to invite you to wear your scars, to wear your testimony, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, whatever it is. I want to invite you to wear it today. As my friend Cherish and I strive to wear our own. In this episode of If Eve Could Speak, the Limp With Purpose edition.
Welcome to If Eve Could Speak, the podcast. I'm Lex. I'm your host. And I'm no one special. I'm just one of Eve's daughters because I believe that if the mother of mothers, if she could say anything in this moment, that she would weep for her daughters, that she would weep for women, that she would weep for who God had originally ordained her to be. But I also believe that she's requiring more out of you and of me. So today, we're talking about limps of many kinds. Here's mine, and it looks exactly how you may expect it to, at least on the outside, or does it? And today I have a special guest with me. Yo, Cherish, say what's up to the people.
Hey y'all, what's up?
Turn it up. Yeah, we got a real interesting relationship. Like our friendship, our bond, it started not really traditionally. Cherish, why don't you tell the people a little bit about how we met and how we even became friends?
Well, so we actually met at like a Bible talk at church. We were in the the college Bible talk campus ministry. And so that's how we met. And we just shared our stories, talked about the Bible and the different things that we were going through. And we just instantly hit it off. And we really, what we were talking about the most and what brought us to each other, I feel like in our conversations at the very beginning, like from day one, was definitely our limps, our struggles, that was definitely what drawed us. It was like, oh, I'm not by myself. Like, come on, let's go. Let's do this together. So
for sure. I can tell you what I remember. I remember being at a campus retreat or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I remember prior to that moment, everybody kept saying, yo, you need to talk to Cherish. You need to talk to Cherish. Like, y'all are really vibe or whatever. Y'all would click. And I remember seeing you, kind of just here and there and being like, everybody keeps saying we need to talk or whatever. And then we went to this campus retreat and we got our opportunity. And we sat at a Starbucks. You remember that?
I remember.
We sat at a Starbucks and talked for hours. I remember that. I remember just feeling like, man, God can love me through all of that. What am I waiting for? Type of thing. And here we are. I will tell you, Cherish, I was looking at your testimony video recently on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And we'll actually drop that thing for you so you guys can check it out as well. And I remember this one line that you said in the particular video was like, yo, I never thought that I would be running a marathon through life. What did you mean by that?
Man, just growing up and throughout life, you know how they always talk about, or you hear people talking about the journey and the process. Mm-hmm. I heard that, going off to school as I got older, but as a kid, I just always thought it was this destination. I get here and then, okay, boom, go to school, graduate, get a good job, all these destinations, but that's not what life is. I've learned through, living that it's not about the destination. It's a marathon. It's constant. There's no stop. I mean, if you stopping, then that's it. That's death. Really, once you stop. And unfortunately, there's some people who are still breathing but are dead. But that's another topic. But that's what I was like. Wow, I didn't realize a marathon, because when I look at like somebody running the marathon, it's like, you want, like, when does this stop? You know what I'm saying? Aren't you tired? You know, don't you want to stop? Just quit. Like, you know. But that's not life, and that's not what I'm gonna do. That's not what I want to do. And I just didn't know. I was shocked when I found that out. I'm like, I've graduated, you know, I've done this and that, and life's still coming. It's still here.
For sure. What would you say has caused you to limp through life?
Oh man. So a lot of different things. Can I get a little comfortable? Cause
man, get a little comfortable.
You know what I'm saying? Talking about lips, you know.
Let's go.
Talking about lips. I can't talk about lips like that.
Yeah, for sure.
But a lot of stuff. So just like, and even I'm still realizing some of my limps today, and I'm 29 years old. I'm realizing it at 29 years old, but it has affected me since birth. But definitely like mental battles, mental illness, just like, you know, depression, you know, rape, growing up without a father, abuse, you know, being in an abusive relationship, and even just like, those are some things, you know, I feel like I don't even like to mention them as much, you know what I'm saying? Because it took me a minute to be like, it's okay. Like, that part of me is never going to go away. Those limps are never going to go away. But also, there's still other limps, you know, that I'm still realizing. Like, I didn't realize that not growing up with a father was a limp for me until, you know, recently. Where I was asked, like, did that affect you? And at first I always, you know, like to call myself a strong Black woman or whatever, but strong is not pretending like you don't have limps or you don't have scars. That's not what strong is. And strong is realizing you have it and healing and going through it and running the marathon and not quitting. But yeah, I definitely have that. And also recently I've realized, like, you know, just realizing what is this or what is that? What is my purpose? What do I want to do as far as life is concerned? You know, because I am only 29. It's a lot of years ahead of me and things of that nature. But just, you know, in this world, it'll just have you chew you up and spit you out, you know, like have you thinking something's wrong with you. God doesn't make mistakes. Like, there's nothing wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? He didn't put me through those things. He didn't give me these limps for no reason. And it's up to me to wake up and realize, you know, how I'm supposed to limp. Because everybody's going to limp, but how am I supposed to limp?
For sure. You know, what's crazy is that just like a lot of other people, when I think about a limp, I think about a physical disability. I think about a physical handicap. But honestly, what I'm hearing you even say is that there are things that happen in our life that handicap us more than just physically, more than just neurologically, more than just what meets the eye. You know what I'm saying? What would you say to people who don't know you, who haven't even heard of such a thing in terms of, so look, all I know is a physical limp. How can I identify my emotional limp? How can I identify what it means to just be handicapped in other areas?
It's gonna take a lot of, you're gonna have to dig deep within yourself, you know what I'm saying? And really get to know yourself, be intimate with yourself. And just, you could just start the little bit. Like, if you wake up and you having a bad day, you know, which is really no such thing as bad days, but if you have a quote unquote bad day, okay, why are you feeling this way? Why did you wake up from your sleep? You haven't done anything and you feeling this way. Or if you wake up happy, or joyful, or you know what I'm saying, tired, exhausted when you just had 8 hours of sleep, or if you have 4 hours of sleep, like something small like that. Or even as you're going throughout your day and, you know, you may snap off on somebody. And if you go and dig deep to why you might have snapped off on that person, then you could find a lot about yourself. Like, I realize that if I eat a certain thing before I go to bed, you know, just that simple, I'm going to wake up and feel a certain type of way. Or if, you know what I'm saying, if I talk to a certain person at a certain time, like if I talk to certain people before I start work or something like that, that'll change the whole course of my day. So that all ties back to your limp, because what is triggering me to feel that way? You know what I'm saying? That is from past things that have happened to me or that are happening to me in the moment. That's what causes my reaction to certain things, because the same thing that can happen to me, it won't affect the next person the same way. So it's all about me and how I internalize things. A lot of my limps are internally. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I like to say, oh, I was so strong, this, that, and the other. But man, the churning and the blender, I guess, you know, that's just chopping me up inside is just as, you know, harmful as anything else. And because we like to, or me personally, I love to cover it up. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to take pride in covering up, dressing it up.
Yeah.
But it's still there. You still limping. And just because nobody else can see it doesn't mean it's not there. So you just small stuff, and you dig deep. Like, you know, I realized that I have a certain attitude or, you know, bias towards men that comes from not having a man in the household. You know, simple as that. I know that might sound cliche, but when I dig deep personally to what that means to me, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, men, they come and they go. And if they stay, however they may act or treat you, then that's a good man. That's not the case.
Wow, you said something that really just struck with me. You talked about the cover up. I can't tell you how many times I've walked down the street or I've walked in a room and tried to hide my physical limp. I've tried to hide my arm. I've held it and babysit that joint so that maybe you wouldn't notice that. Maybe you wouldn't notice my handicap. Maybe you wouldn't notice my deformity. And you're so right, because even when I think about just the things maybe we've gone through in childhood, things that we've gone through just in relationships and just life period, they've caused handicaps of their own. And we cover them up with a smile and a cute lip and, you know, our lashes and our brows or whatever else, right? But that's the exact same thing as me taking my left arm and me stuffing it in my pocket or holding it or making sure that you only catch me on my right side so you won't see it. And I believe that just Eve herself, when I think about just who she represents, yes, she sinned. Yes, she ate from the forbidden fruit. Yes, she did all of these things. But she also got up. She also lived out and served her purpose. When God gave Adam and Eve the curse in the garden, he also gave them a promise. He also gave them a blessing. The Bible says that her seed will crush the seed of the serpents. That her seed will crush the serpent's head. Yes, she will get knocked. Yes, he will get knocked around. Yes, we may go toe to toe a little bit, and you may bruise my heel. But my Bible says that Eve's seed will crush the head of the serpent. Are you crushing heads? Or are you caught up in the limp that came from the bruised heel? What is it? What is your limp? What is causing you to not walk upright, to not serve out your purpose, to not do exactly what it is you were called to do? Eve served her purpose, no matter how many mistakes she made along the way. You've made some mistakes. You're like Eve. I'm like Eve. Cherish, you're like Eve, bro. No matter how much you try to act like we're not or we better, no, we're just the same. The difference with some of us is that some of us won't get up. Some of us will lie there. Some of us will just give in and lie in our shame, in the misery, in the cover-up. But I want to challenge you today. Identify your limp. What has caused you to limp? What has caused you? What has caused the handicap in your mind, in your body, in your physical? What causes you to limp? And I promise you that when you really set out to discover what that is, that discovering it will be worth it. I have a very physical limp. Yes, I still sometimes try to hide my hand. Yes, I still sometimes try to camouflage my leg. But you better believe that this is the story that God gave me. John 20 talks about the resurrection of Jesus, the Messiah who was crucified because of you and I. And he rose wearing his scars, wearing his testimony. He wasn't ashamed. He didn't allow it to defeat him because he knew that there would be a Thomas who would need exactly what he had gone through, that being resurrected, that being not just being knocked down, but getting up, so that he too could believe that he could do the same. You don't know who your limp can help, who your limp is meant to help, who it is meant to set free. Don't keep those who are connected to you from being set free. You too deserve to be set free. You deserve to be whole. You deserve to live with gladness and gratitude because you're worth it. We may not always be worthy of the calling, but our Father, he says, we're worth it. Yo, Cherish, if Eve could speak, what you think she would say right now?
And she would say, keep going, keep limping, limp through life, limp through the marathon.
Yes, it's a marathon, baby. But whether you're limping or walking upright, it's important that you finish. Finish the marathon, limping and all. Yo, we rocks with you. We love you. If Eve could speak, we out, yo.